And let me pop over to my Zoom, my YouTube, so I can catch comments. There we go. Your channel, and I'll mute. Okay, there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
And we're live. Let me update the way the viewing is. Let's do gallery. They should be able to see you now.
No. Hi, everyone.
Yay. Welcome, everyone. So happy you all could be here today. It's a pleasure to be here with everybody doing a live update. And Lee and Sherry, if you want to take the link to the live and share it on your channel so folks from your channel can join, that would be great.
I can do that.
See if you can do this because I have no clue.
Okay. About that.
I used to have a clue. That's the scary part.
We won't fault you for it. I find that sometimes when we let go of the clues, it's when like the real answers tend to show up.
Like,
This
I really
link to the live
technology in the first place. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Hey, Jock Tank. Hey, Lana Bag and Stoves. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. And then let me, while Lee is sharing this over on the channel, I'll just update the description box with all of our links. Hey, Rashmi, Lynette, and Lana. Great to have you. Hope, Love, and Sunshine. Now that is a name. Thank you for bringing Hope, Love, and Sunshine. Appreciate that. Selma, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right.
We are sharing as well.
Perfect. And I just added all the links to our description box so that people, when they click on the description box, will have access to everything. Cool. Thanks for being here, everyone. So lovely to see you on this beautiful Friday afternoon or evening, depending upon where you are on planet Earth. Could be Saturday for you. My name is Kay Moon, and I'm a Twin Soul Channel and Western astrologer, and I'm joined today by Lee and Sherry of Relationship Reinvented. Lee and Sherry have been incredible mentors for me on the Twin Soul path. Ever since I figured out that's what was going on for me in my world, I didn't really understand why I was experiencing what I was experiencing until I met them. And their videos on their YouTube channel literally saved my life. Yeah. Many of you don't know this about me, but I'll share just a bit about my connection with my counterpart. My counterpart and I were a couple for a couple of years, maybe a year and a half before we split. And, we split for all the reasons couples split in the mundane world. Just things aren't aligning. They're not meshing. They've gotten complicated, and it just doesn't feel like it's flowing. So it was like, okay, this isn't flowing. Let's let this go. And we did it a couple of times, actually. And then we came back together only to have a final split. And at that final split, I did a cord cutting ritual. And which I have done. I've done with other people, and it was always appropriate at that time. But this time, I cut the cords, and for about I would say maybe about 8 to 9 weeks that year, about 3 to 4 months, almost maybe 12 weeks, I was suicidal, and I was actively planning ways to take myself off planet Earth. I didn't want to be here. I felt like death had come over me in a way that I had never really felt before. I'd been suicidal in my teen years. I'd struggled with depression and had attempted suicide in my teen years, but never in my adult life. And during that period of time, I met a couple of significant people. The first one explained to me that the reason I had felt this way was because I had unplugged from the other part of my soul, incarnate in a different body. And if I could just stabilize myself enough to reconnect energetically, I would be okay. And I did that. And then the other people I met, they didn't know me at that point, but I was voraciously devouring their videos at that point, were Lee and Sherry. And in the process of voraciously devouring Lee and Sherry's videos, I found the answers to a lot of what I was experiencing, that I was running from connection, that love had began to take over my life and was trying to show me how to come home to myself. That I was having the experience of being lit from within with divine energy and divine love, so that I could have this experience not just with my counterpart or with myself, but with all of you and with the world. And a couple years later, here we are. I've coached with Lee and Sherry. I started a YouTube channel. Lee and Sherry have come on the channel. You all have met them. They've done about 4 videos. They're the most featured coaches on the channel. And I feature them because their approach to love and their approach to connection is unparalleled in the way that what they invite us all to do is just be present to everything that is as it is, without trying to force ourselves or them or anything to be different. Be present to love in the state that it's in.
Mm.
And that ask and that invitation has spiritually opened me in a way that I could not have foreseen. And it's brought me back home to life. And so today we're here to celebrate their 2 lives, but also to provide an update because, as many of you know, our dear Sherry here has been on a healing journey. She was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis and liver failure back in, was it 2020 or 2019?
2019.
End of 2019.
End of 2019.
End of 2019.
Yeah, the official diagnosis was early 2020.
That was January 2020.
January 2020.
The testing kind of began
Mhm.
in November, end of November into December.
Yeah.
And, I think it threw us both through a whirlwind because she thought, oh, I'm fine, as she's throwing up blood everywhere. And that wasn't the case at all.
Right.
There were a lot of other things that I think we started to realize were a part of this illness that I don't think we were really aware of.
We had
And
no idea.
Now, after this past year, especially, with everybody being quarantined, a lot of things came out and we went, oh my gosh, this has been here this whole time.
Been here a minute.
But it also really pointed out to both of us where we connected that from. I mean, how you don't pay attention to certain things in connection, because we both had parents that passed from illnesses that were undetected until it was too late.
Mm.
So here we are in the depth of it, going, we get it. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
For sure.
Her experience, I'm really excited for you guys to hear how she's pushed through this. I think you've never heard it before, but being connected to her, it's hard to explain. I want her to tell you more about that, but I believe that it's very significant to what we're all on a journey here for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So today we're going to share a little bit about where Sherry's been and where she's at now, and where we're all praying she'll get to is a full liver transplant and liver recovery and full health recovery. And so we're at a critical point in the journey where Sherry needs to get a liver like now, in the now time. It's been critical for about a year now, but we're at a place now where the consequences, if this doesn't happen in the near term future, could be extremely steep, not just for Lee and Sherry, but for our entire community, given who they've been and how they've shown up and what they share with us. So, for those of you who are open to it, I certainly filled out the forms. I'm on the review list, and I invite you all to do the same. There's a link just below this video inside this description box. You do need to be a type O blood type to be a liver donor, a live liver donor. She's already on the donation list for someone who might be deceased, but the wait list for that can be from anyone who's familiar with organ donation. The wait list can be long. It can be anywhere from 6 months to a year. And while we're a year and a half in, we're running out of time. And it's really urgent at this point that we find the right liver for Sherry so that she can move forward. Now, the interesting thing about the liver, everyone's got one, but unlike the other organs in the body, if you didn't already know it, the liver, like the skin, is one of the only organs that can regenerate itself. It can grow back. So if you share a part of your liver will return to its full liver wholeness and health state on its own, without any consequence to you. Now, surely there's downtime with any transplant, right? However, you share yours will grow back, and Sherry will have a fresh start. So links below this video, but if you're willing to fill out the forms, they take about 10 to 15 minutes, and you can get the full update and follow Sherry's journey on her Facebook page as well. And I'll be linking that in the chat. It's also linked in the description box below. Sherry, would you be willing to share a little bit about where you've been on this journey and the experiences you've had to date?
Certainly. Definitely. Oh man, has it been a crazy time, especially with the pandemic hitting at the same time. You know, a lot of you know the story already. But I was diagnosed with cancer first. And that was basically through an email, and which was interesting, that they thought that other doctors had talked to me and they hadn't. But nevertheless, that happened. And I ended up going into the hospital, where the doctor set me down and told me that it was my liver and I was in stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. And liver cancer as well. So we were devastated. We were shocked, but we were still not, I don't know, realizing it. I think we were still in kind of like, oh, well, I'm sick, but I'll get better mindset. Oh, well, oh, this could be a little serious, but there are treatments and there are plenty of things out there, and nobody just gonna die from getting sick. Right. Right. Yeah. So that's just the mindset that we were in. And as things progressed throughout the year, and tons of doctor's visits, and then realizing that, hey, my liver's pretty much gone. And it is to the point now where my liver will no longer regenerate itself. My liver is what they are calling in decompensation. And that doesn't mean that my liver is decomposing. It just means it's not compensating. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Therefore, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So other organs and other things are having to work overtime and harder to take up the slack there. So they're getting tired. So my other organs are starting to shut down as well. So throughout tests and needles and blood and tests and I could go on forever, but it's been a process. The waiting has been excruciating. As we wait and realized that the pain is nearly unbearable. Your liver doesn't have any pain receptors, so my liver doesn't hurt. But my liver is very swollen, therefore it's pushing other things out of the way and moving things in places it's not supposed to. And the pain is very uncomfortable. There's other things that come along with liver disease. Hepatic encephalopathy is something that I suffer with very, very severely.
And what's that?
That is when my body no longer can eliminate waste. I'm not using the restroom. Then what happens is the toxins build up in my system and they go straight to my brain. So I have a foggy brain and the memory is gone most of the time. I can recall something one day from when I was 4 years old, and the next day I can't recall something that happened 10 minutes ago. And it's more than the normal, I'm 50, I walk into a room, what did I walk into this room for? Because obviously I have that too. But this is looking at my son and wondering whose face I'm looking at. Looking around my home and wondering where I'm at. Those types of things. Being scared, going into a childlike state where my mind takes over and will tell me that Lee is trying to hurt me. He's trying to lock me up or keep me locked up or put me away or put me in a home. Or trauma from my past comes back. And I will see it and I see him and I will call 911. We've had to have a program set up here at the house where he purchased me an iPhone or an iWatch, where if I dial 911, all of my medical information automatically goes to the dispatcher, so they know not to take me off in a white coat. Signs on my doors. My driving privileges are gone. When we do drive, we have to park close. I'm no longer digesting food. We just found this out last week. So we also found out that my stepson, who was in the final stages of being tested, they brought molds of our livers in, and my transplant doctor did multiple attempts to try to get this transplant done with him. And I need too much liver. So that brought us to a crucial point where now I'm more than likely going to need too much liver for a living donor. However, we have a 6-week period that we're working in before I come off of any type of living donor option. So they are taking anybody into consideration who is the same blood type, who would be willing to get tested to see if their liver would happen to fit. And the doctors has already said it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Well, they also told me before Christmas that I wouldn't make it through the holidays. And they told me in January that he didn't see 3 months left in me. But I do. And yesterday, I was freed from a 24-hour catheter that I had in my leg for 4 months. I had strapped to my leg for almost 5 months and was really hindering my quality of life and taking me into a further depression because it was a constant reminder that I was sick. And after seeing the doctor yesterday, we put me on, well, what they said is a lifetime, but obviously if I get a transplant, it won't work that way, but prescription for self-cathing. So while the news was amazing that I got my cath out, I can swim and I can take a bath and, not have a bag of urine strapped to my leg, you know. Every time I go to the restroom now, I just self-cath and I don't have to have anything. It's portable. So while it was great and wonderful news, there still is the problem that I have to do it, and it's horrible. I saw it as a step in the right direction of at least freeing me. So right now, where we're at is we are waiting. We're waiting to see if we can find that needle in that haystack, or if somebody happens to pass away who is a organ donor. And if you're not an organ donor, please, please, please consider it, because somebody needs it and you're not going to need it. And it'll save somebody's life. And not even if it's not mine, somebody's. It could be your eyes, your anything. And there's somebody out there waiting for everything. So we're waiting. Today, I'm starting a medication that was prescribed to me last week by my liver doctor. That was turned down by my insurance company because it was severely damaging to the liver. Also keep in mind that I'm going through this journey without any pain medication. I'm doing this as naturally as possible. I have a strong belief system in Mother Earth, and I believe and I trust her. And I trust the plant medicine that I get. And I trust County Line Farms in Michigan for making my plant medicine. I trust that the medication that I take should be natural, and that shouldn't be anything that a man made to make me sicker. There are some medications that I'm forced to take to keep me alive, and I have to take those, and it's unfortunate, and I hate it. But I have to start this medication today. I mean, we're both struggling with it, and it's a 50-50 chance. It could take out the rest of my liver, or it could help me. It could help me get my organs back to functioning fairly until I get a transplant. So I start that today. We're going to keep a watch on it and see if my liver numbers are severely going up. And still, that's where we're at. We need a liver. And I'm sure that it's getting to the point where it's all over Facebook. My family's probably tired of seeing it on their lines, on their walls. And here we are with Kay again, and her amazing show, and talking to you people to see if we can find maybe a candidate to help me get a liver.
You never know where you'll find a needle.
Right.
Especially in a haystack.
Right.
So
yeah,
we decided, I mean, even OSU, the doctors, all her doctors have said, the more people are aware, the more chances you'll have of finding your needle in the haystack.
Yeah.
So Kay reached out to us and said, hey, I want to do this. And thank you, Kay, for having us here. That means more than you ever know.
It's an honor. Thank you. You guys have saved my bacon. Let me help you save
Yeah.
yours.
We pride ourselves on being very vulnerable to our connection, for our connection, and what connection is asked of us is to help others find their connection to themselves so they can have connection. And what's interesting is I look back and I go, I remember not even wanting to be out there doing this, but now I can't imagine not ever doing it.
Right.
And I can't ever imagine not connecting to all of you and understanding
Right.
your connection and understanding what that connection is doing to you. And we stay deeply connected to each other's feelings. And I think, it's been a blessing and a curse. And what we've experienced with this, because we've really got a deeper understanding of a connection to loss. And I think everybody can relate to that. If you've lost a loved one or lost somebody you were connected to. We haven't lost, but we understand what that experience is. And we understand what you still are connected to.
Mhm.
And all of you watching this, even if you're watching it after the replay, or if you're watching it live with us now, your connection to us matters to us. How you feel matters to us. We feel all of you. And I mean, she's getting gifts and the things that keep coming. I mean, and it's interesting because it's not just human beings. There are things that are just undescribable because we're so present for it. We don't want to miss anything. We don't want to miss a feeling. We don't want to miss an experience.
A message.
A message. She, through this whole thing, she has found a alter ego, which has been amazing to watch her do because it's helped her fight through a lot of the pain. She's got a beautiful former cousin. There's no other way to describe her.
She is my former cousin.
And they started Canna Grannies. And these Canna Grannies have been spreading the word about the life-threatening illnesses they're going through, but they also are talking about this green plant that has her still sitting here next to me, upright, talking to you guys, telling her story, telling her journey about what she's been through to stay connected. And I wasn't an advocate before it, but I've seen the difference between when she's not on it and when she is. And this plant is saving her. In the purest form, the County Line Genetics, Premium Genetics up in Michigan, which is, I'll drive up there to get it if she's out. I don't care. It's keeping her here. And they've become family because they literally have told her, we're through this through you till you get this and you're back on the road. And even after, we're not leaving your side. And it's like we found all of these different forms of families and connections through this that have meant the world to us. Even those that still come and they're like, you know what, I'm going to heal with them. And they know they're probably just getting me, but they do feel Sherry there. They do feel the channeling messages coming through me from her to them. We're vessels, but we're more than that in these vessels. And we're staying connected to that part. And thank you, all of you.
Staying connected is big because when you don't feel well, you want to take it out on the closest person to you. And, when you're in a connection and not a relationship, because we're really bad at those, but when you're in a connection, I know that he's felt and carried some of my pain. And I felt the release of when he has. And it's hard. It's hard for other people to understand, or it's hard to explain. But I know that this connection helps carry a lot of the pain.
You can't heal without connection.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care who you are. You cannot heal without connection. When we lay with each other at night, and I wrapped around her, and there's a catheter in between us trying to wrap itself in my leg, I just feel like I'm merging into you to give you that strength, to give you my immune system, give you my emotions, give you my feelings, give you my thoughts, give me everything. And I tell myself we are one. And I can feel all of that experience go through you, through us. I would not have it any other way. And I will not ever have it any other way. And I don't believe it's even a choice that I even know is a choice. I don't see it as a choice anymore. I know that this connection, and even no matter what's been thrown at us and no matter what we've been through, there are things that are happening all on the outside, and it feels like our entire world is being ripped from us. But we came all this way and did everything we did and are doing, and we're not going to stop. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter what's going on. You're my priority. You're my connection. And I want to feel everything with you. And I will never stop. I know.
Yeah, it just made me cry. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're like, oh, I've got some liver I can regenerate this summer.
I got a little extra liver laying around.
You need a fresh, shiny new liver that just donate it.
Yeah. So if you're an O blood type, or even if you don't know your blood type, they'll test you. The instructions and the links are below this video. There is a link that says, to be a living donor for Sherry Patterson, complete this form and send to the email below. And then there's a link to the form, and then it says send your completed donation forms here. And there's the email you can send it to with the subject line, living donor for Sherry Patterson. And then I've included the follow-up phone number that you need in order to just follow up and make sure that they've received it, that they are going to look at your form, because they will. They get to everyone, but a little persistence, I have found, goes a long way with follow-up in all areas of life.
Oh, look at that. Hey, Julie Norman, no name, Rick Simpson oil. That's why she's still sitting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, she goes, Rick Simpson will find some ASAP.
Yeah.
And
Rick
that's what
Simpson
she's taking.
Yeah. We found a guy that actually, it's interesting because Sherry actually has seeds that she puts in her mouth, and so it knows what she needs, but then they make it into the purest form, which is called Rick Simpson oil. And it goes in, it's done as an edible form, but I make pills for her so she can just take them with her medications. So she takes those first, and then they go in, and they have sustained a lot of what her ability to sit here now without great pain
and without falling asleep
is because, and believe me, there's been last week or the week before was real dangerous because she slept a majority of the time because we got vaccinated. And, it was dangerous because she could have slipped into a coma. This is really in the territory we're in, where I have to wake her up every 2 hours. That's
my goal is to live like I'm dying. And I think we all should, because we all are. I might just be going a little quicker, but I'm going to fight it.
Oh, yeah, type O blood, but it doesn't matter if you're positive or negative.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the ultimate goal anyway, and for anybody, is to We really all have a death wish. We all have a date. There will be a day when we're all not here.
Mm.
I've only lived the first half of my life, you know. I have the second half to live. And I've got grandkids. And I've got one on the way. And I've got more coming. I've seen them in dreams. And
This will be number 7.
we have a lot of people to help. A lot of people to help.
Mm.
But a lot of times people will see I'm putting on my makeup and I'm getting dressed and I'm not laying on the couch and I'm walking in the woods and I'm going to watch music and I'm laughing and I'm finding friends and I'm having a good time. And yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. And that it hurts, but I'm having a good time because if it's my time, I don't want to be in a bed or on a couch or in a chair. I want to be watching somebody feed my soul with some music or walking in nature or laying in water or being in a flower bed.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to feel good and want to look okay and want to have energy when a lot of people want you to be sick. And I don't want to be sick. And there are days when I'm sick. There are weeks when I'm sick. And there are days when I'm feeling okay, man. And there are days when I feel great. And I know that I can't eat or I won't feel great. You know what I mean? And, I know I can't walk too far or I won't feel great, but I know that I'm going to feel great if I just sit out here in the sun and put my feet in the grass and listen to my grandkids and just be. Just be. That's it. Just be. It's beautiful.
Amazing. So, for those of you who are watching now and joining, I want to just say thank you for hanging out with us for this announcement and update. A couple of things. There are multiple ways that you can assist if you would like to assist. You don't have to be a liver donor. There are other things you can do. So you can they have a fundraiser, a GoFundMe. They're the medical expenses. If you are not in a country with socialized medical aid like the Europe or other places, if you're in the US, much of what you need to pay for, especially if you don't have a traditional full-time job, you're paying this out of pocket because our healthcare is tied to having a traditional full-time job. If you are a freelancer, a coach, a graphic designer, some other type of independent worker, we pay our own medical bills here on our own. And so if you would like to donate to their medical expenses, you can do so below. And for those who, recognize like, look, I'd love to get support or support Lee and Sherry, but the reality is like, I'm in such a state myself in my own connection with my own issues. Lee and Sherry are still like part of the way they're living through this moment is by being in service, continued service. So if you would like to go deeper in your connection and to have a conversation about connection and how to stand fully in connection and in love, there are links to their calendar below. They're offering free sessions still. If you would like to do a free session to really uncover your own blocks to connection, or just uncover how to more deeply connect to yourself, get on their calendar. It's free. They are offering one-time sessions for free, and their laser sessions will change your life. There's somebody in the comments here who said the last time you guys were live with K Moon on her channel, I have to say, it changed my life. So it shifted things for me, and that was just witnessing somebody else's laser coaching. So working with them directly will definitely go a long way for you. They're happy to stand in service for you as they're moving through this moment. So feel free to sign up for those sessions. And then lastly, I want to put a special call out to all of the healers here. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, and I believe that's 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean, I'm going to open up a special Zoom room for a group healing session for healers who want to do a healing circle, an online virtual healing circle for Sherry at this time. We don't all have to practice the same modality, but we will all be working in tandem with Sherry's energy to do energy healing for her. So if you're willing to join, I will put a link below this video. You're welcome to just join at that time, and we'll do some group healing. What's likely to happen, hopefully there'll be enough to do this, but what will happen is this: there will be one Zoom room, but we'll split into groups. We'll do a live healing for Sherry, and Sherry will be listening in that Zoom room. And then what I'd also like to offer up is a live healing as well for you, Lee. I know what it takes. I don't know what it takes. Let me put it a different way. I can only imagine what carrying this for a caretaker, what that means you have to hold inside of yourself, not just her healing, but your strength and also the business and the family. Like, there's so much you have taken on your own back. So we are going to go ahead and facilitate a healing session for you as well to assist you. And assist your energy. So I'll put a link below this video. If you'd like to join that healing circle, you don't have to pay. You don't need to do anything. Just put a reminder in your calendar and show up, because we are going to do live healing for the two of them in one Zoom room. We'll split into two groups. Some will work with Lee, some will work with Sherry, and they'll be there. They'll be there in real time to receive the healing. So that if you have anything to share as you're doing your healing work, you can also share that as well. Okay.
Couple of things I saw come up just to answer some questions. We're in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
If you fill out the form, Sherry's date of birth is June 12th, 1970.
That's correct.
You'll need both of those pieces of information. I think that was the only questions that I saw that came up regarding what other information they might need if they go on there.
Yeah.
If nothing else, if you go to the Facebook page, Sherry Needs a Liver, she has an instant messenger up there, and any information you need, you can message there.
Yeah.
And what state of Ohio? What's the other thing I need to put in here?
Her date of birth is June 12th, 1970. Because they'll ask you that on there.
Yeah.
Great.
Itch.
It's so the acid in her skin has been. She has to raise her temperature up quite a bit because she itches an awful lot because of the toxins.
Always something little inconveniences, just a lot of itching and a lot of dehydration and a lot of hunger. You know, I was a big girl. I need some food.
Well, this is good. Appetite is a good sign. It's a sign that the body is still trying to take in life.
Right. I got the doctor said I got about 60 or 70 more pounds that I can play with until it becomes a problem. And I was like, what? A problem?
Love it.
I don't want to ever be unhealthy, but I didn't want to take the weight off this way either. You know what I mean? I wanted to run in the woods, but now I'm going to run in the woods.
Beautiful.
We are attempting to purchase a spiritual center. I think Lee sent that link too. And we're looking for investors. So if you're interested in that, get a hold of us and we would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Do a lot of healing center.
Mhm. We want
Beautiful.
to really have it run so that way people who are looking for healing instead of coping have a place to go. Because
Love it.
that's kind of what the world surrounds around, is things that help you stay. You can't even really be stable with your thoughts, but you've never had anything heal your thoughts.
Well,
And we want
yeah.
to create a place where that will always be there.
When you get to the point of the phone won't stop and the emails won't stop and the pressure won't stop, no matter what it's from, could be financial, it could be marriages, could be everything. The pressure is so much that you're so disconnected. You get so disconnected that that pressure just overwhelms you and turns into so many things. But yeah, that's
You need a
definitely
place
part
you
of
can
it.
go where time doesn't exist, where you can heal. Because you can only heal without time, not with it. Coping is
Coping
time.
Oh, we could go on with
Yeah.
coping.
Yeah.
You guys are always in coaching mode. You're like ready to help people heal.
I think we're so focused in healing. The only thing that can speak is healing.
I used to say, look, we really need a work-life balance around here. Like, you need to stop working. But then, he said something to me about 2 months ago, and it really just stuck with me. And he just said, it's not work to me, it's healing.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, well, okay.
Stop healing. Stop healing. Come here. Come here. No, can he come here and say hi? Come on. Come and say mamma. Come on.
Grandson just.
Do you want a present? You'll get a present.
Oh, listen at him bribing the
I'm not
kid.
I
bribing.
see this. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, you can.
No, you don't want to come here?
You ain't having it.
We don't get a hug. Can I have a hug?
No
Everybody
camera
wants to
time, huh?
You ain't having it.
Oh, he's not having it. I wanted to see your shoes.
Well,
Kids came.
so I think, we got to the heart of what we wanted to share today and the special requests that we're asking of the community. I just want to say thank you for everyone who has been here, who is listening, who is willing to, just step in some way and be a part of this healing journey. You can contribute $1, $2 to any of their medical expenses. Every little bit helps when you live in the States, believe me. Or you're welcome to, if you'd like to be in energetic exchange with them, if that's the best way for you to be of service to them at this time, is to receive their coaching and continue your own healing journey. They're open to that. Please jump in. They'll do the 30-minute session with you. Happy to chat with you. And their laser coaching is outstanding. And if you're open to being a liver donor, all the information you need to be able to do so is below. This video is going to remain here on this channel. All you need to do is just come back to the K Moon YouTube channel. Don't even need to email me. Just find it on YouTube, come back to the channel, link this wherever you have access to community. Link it to your Instagram, your Facebook, link it to your YouTube channel. We are going to find Sherry a living donor so that she can move into the second chapter of her life. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. It's a pleasure and an honor. And those of you who want to join the healing session tomorrow, those of you who are healers, who have the capacity to jump in and provide, 20 to 30 minutes of healing. We're going to do laser healing for both of them, for Lee and for Sherry, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean. If you'd like to join me for that, the link to that Zoom room is going to be just below this video. And I will talk to you then. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.
Oh, so much.
Thank you.